You can't hide from your problems forever. Eventually, they're going to catch up with you. Like when I tell my twins to clean up their room and they just shove everything in the closet, it doesn't work. Once you open that door, it's all going to come crashing down. The longer you leave it, the worse it gets. Ronald Reagan knew that better than anybody. In the 70s and 80s, parts of New York looked like a third world country, bombed out version of what we know today. When Reagan was running for president, he went straight into the worst part of town and talked to the people who lived there.
To demonstrate his concern, the Republican nominee traveled to the South Bronx, where rampant urban blight has left dozens of city blocks a virtual wasteland. In a shouting match with residents, many of whom demanded jobs, Reagan replied, "I can't do a damn thing for you if I don't get elected."
Is there more jobs coming through the Bronx for us?
I am going to try as hard as I can. All I can tell you is that I'm going to try to bring that about, and not with the kind of a promise that Carter made.
They weren't happy to see Reagan, and most of them probably didn't vote for him, but it was important for Reagan to see what they were going through. And there's a reason the Bronx doesn't look like that anymore, because powerful people saw the problem and they knew how to fix it. Biden went to our southern border this week, but he didn't really see what we've been showing you for the last 2 years. Before Air Force One touched down, they cleaned it all up. Threw the tents in the garbage, took the families off the cold streets, and just plugged the holes in the wall. All of a sudden, the migrants were gone. For the first time in years, it was quiet in El Paso. Someone wanted to get rid of them before the president and all the national press came to town. Border Patrol and local cops started locking up migrants in the middle of the night. Texans know this is a total con job. Listen to what ranchers had to say about the polished El Paso Biden visited.
It's a mess. He went to El Paso, everything's picked up, everything's clean, everybody's kind of like on their best behavior, I would think. That's what he's seeing, so he doesn't really see what's happening on a daily basis.
I think it's absurd, honestly. I think that there's hundreds of miles of border that is being inundated. Our Border Patrol are being overworked. Our law enforcement are being tasked beyond measure. And he chooses to go to El Paso that, by the way, has been cleaned up before he got there.
I'm not saying he needs to dive into the Rio Grande or, wrestle a coyote, but the least he could do is meet with a migrant. Even CNN agrees.
That's why the president is being criticized by both sides because of what he didn't see. So let me show you, because this is one of the migrant camps that's here in downtown El Paso. And, the immigration advocates here in El Paso and Governor Greg Abbott usually don't agree on much, but they do raise the same question. If President Biden came here to El Paso to see the reality on the ground about the border, and he didn't come here, what's considered the epicenter of this crisis, did he leave with a clear understanding?
Biden was too busy touring a parking lot of a government building. He didn't want to really see what was happening, and he didn't meet with any of the migrants, or as his wife calls them, tacos. Joe knew if he met a migrant in front of a camera, they'd probably give him a big hug and say gracias. They love Joe. He opened the country to him. When his motorcade blew past a group of migrants lined up at the border, they cheered. Unlike Joe, Primetime talks to migrants. When a bus came to New York, we asked them what they wanted to say to Joe.
What is your message to Joe Biden?
We are completely grateful for the opportunity that he has given us. Thanks for the support to all the Venezuelans coming here. We were happily welcomed thanks to Biden, the president.
This is just a photo op for the president. White House sources say he's pivoting to the center for 2024. Remember the last time Joe pivoted? He broke his foot chasing his dog. This time looks even worse. Biden's doing a photo op next to the wall he defunded and said doesn't work.
There's not a single thing that building a wall or imposing another tariff can address on any of these issues.
There will not be another foot of wall constructed on my administration.
And there he is, right there, walking next to the border agents whose colleagues he called racist and spread a fake whipping story about. Biden keeps saying he wants to fund the border, but Republicans won't let him. But that's another lie. The Republicans haven't had the power of the purse strings in 2 years. And Biden's budget this year slashes funding for the border. Joe just went through the motions. He doesn't want to be there. The man couldn't wait to get back to Delaware. Texas Governor Abbott waited for him on the tarmac and handed him a list of problems to fix, but Biden didn't even bother to read it. Last week, we told you about Biden's new immigration plan. You know, because Kamala couldn't deliver one. Biden's new plan is to give migrants an app where they can apply to come into America before they even reach the border. It's like TSA pre-check for illegals. All they have to do is say they're scared of their home country and they know a guy named Juan in the Bronx. It's like open table for illegals. But Biden knows that's not going to help. He doesn't even know what an app is. To him, the border crisis is unbeatable. There's no way to fix it unless you're magic.
It's amazing what you do. What do you think if I could wave a wand, what would you want me to do?
With Joe, it's always about magic. Nothing can be solved through leadership. Remember when American parents were going from store to store looking for baby formula? Biden said it's not his fault. He's not a mind reader.
Should you have taken those steps sooner before parents got to these shelves and couldn't find formula?
If we'd been better mind readers, I guess we could have, but we moved as quickly as the problem became apparent to us.
To Biden, you can only solve problems if you're David Blaine. Wait a second, where did he hear that from?
When somebody says, like the person you just mentioned, who I'm not going to advertise for, that he's going to bring all these jobs back. Well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do? There's no answer to it. He just says, well, I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how exactly are you going to negotiate that? What magic wand do you have?
Now you know why nothing ever got done under these two guys. They're waiting on a genie to pop out of a bottle. You don't need a wand, Joe. You just need to enforce the law. Didn't you swear on the Bible you'd enforce the law?
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
Office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
You saw how easily they cleaned up the border before Biden's visit. Why don't they just pretend Biden's visiting every day? Just do it every day of the year. You don't need a magic wand for that.